Don't be afraid of the dark. Just relax and let the darkness fall over you.
Welcome to Afraidish, a podcast where we take a deep dive into the history and paranormal while enjoying some tasty adult beverages. From ghost sightings to hauntings, urban legends and cryptids, let's get weird and afraid-ish together. Welcome to episode 44. I'm Paul.
And I'm Ashley.
And welcome back.
Yeah.
It's been a while.
Yeah.
I've got a very interesting episode today.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. I mean, you know the location.
I do.
So
I sure do. Sure do.
It's very haunted.
Yes, it is. Allegedly.
Allegedly, yes. We'll get into that too. So I'm feeling pretty good because I only had like a couple of drinks. What are we drinking?
I am drinking Ace Pineapple Craft Cider.
Before that, we had
an Ace Guava Craft Cider.
And then before that?
And something from a different brand. It was a Marionberry?
Something like that. Yeah.
Something like that.
That's good. And I had like a
Honey Crisp.
Honey Crisp.
Cider.
It was very good. And now I'm drinking Fling Craft Cocktails by Boulevard.
Oh, that's Boulevard?
Yeah, it's actually not bad.
I didn't realize that.
Very few things from Boulevard.
I hate Boulevard.
Like. This one's called Tequila Paloma. It's
not bad.
9% alcohol.
Tastes like a cocktail in a can, though.
Yeah, I mean, it's either that or me buying a bottle of tequila or pre-mixed margaritas. Anyways, let's get into this because it's going to be interesting. Let's start with 5 fun facts about Atchison, Kansas. Because I couldn't think of anything else to do. Number 1.
You can do 5 fun facts about demon possession or poltergeist possession or...
You know what? I didn't think about that. So...
For a rainy day. Put it in your pocket.
Yeah,
pull it out later.
Think about that later.
Okay. Anyways. You can do it for another house that's connected to this one.
Yes.
Allegedly.
5 fun facts. Anyways, number 1.
You should have.
Atchison, Kansas proudly claims the title of being the birthplace of the legendary aviator Amelia Earhart.
Oh!
Today, her childhood home has been transformed into a captivating museum that draws visitors from all over. The city also comes alive every July with the Amelia Earhart Festival, a vibrant celebration honoring the remarkable legacy of its famous resident. And that is an amazing story on its own.
Amelia Earhart?
Yeah.
Yeah?
It's freaking wild.
Whatever happened to Amelia Earhart?
Yeah, that's an awesome story.
Yeah?
I mean, it's sad, but
yeah,
awesome.
But it might not be sad because nobody knows what happened to her. She could have survived.
That's true.
And lived a long life somewhere on an island in the Pacific. Who knows? Number 2. Atchison is home to a truly unique attraction, the International Forest of Friendship. Oh. This living memorial, a testament to the rich history of aviation and aerospace from around the world, was established by the pioneering aviator Amelia Earhart. Oh. It's a place that piques curiosity and invites exploration. Cute. It's pretty cool. Number 3. Atchison's downtown is a treasure trove of stunning Victorian-era architecture, a testament to its vibrant past. With over 20 locations listed on the National Register of Historic Places, it's a place that invites you to step back in time and immerse yourself in the beauty of a bygone era. Number 4. During the Civil War, Atchison served as a base for Jayhawker bands that launched raids into Missouri. One notorious figure was Charles Cleveland Metz, who was known for stealing horses and robbing Southern sympathizers. Okay, I was going to ask, what side were they? Were they like the bushwhackers? But I'm guessing they were the Union counterpart? I think so.
I heard a story. I listened to a bunch of podcasts, and they talked about the Jayhawkers.
Mm-hmm.
And there are sports teams named Jayhawkers in Kansas. So it's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they robbed Southerns, but that's dope. Number 5. Atchison is famous for its chilling and eerie past, which includes numerous ghost tours, bone-chilling tales connected to the city's historic structures.
Nice.
It's pretty cool. It's like one of the most haunted cities. It's wild.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah, it'd be someplace to visit. It'd be awesome.
Yeah, it's close enough-ish.
Yeah. It's up by the Missouri-Kansas border on the Missouri River.
Yes, because there's another house that's very close in Iowa.
The
Villisca?
Villisca Murder House, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that's another story.
Yes.
Now let's head to Atchison, Kansas and dive into the chilling history and hauntings of the infamous Sallie House. So dim the lights, pour yourself a drink, settle in, and prepare to be spooked.
Buckle up.
Buckle up. And this one I'm not going to say enough for the hauntings because it's very, very short history. I'm just going to go straight into it. So
yeah, because it was almost...
I'll get into it, yeah.
I know too much. So.
Yeah, I know. I'll probably not get into as much as you know, but it's just...
Okay.
Anyways.
Who knows? Maybe you'll surprise me.
Yeah. Today we're exploring one of America's most infamous haunted locations, the Sallie House in Atchison, Kansas.
Yes.
Yep. Known for its chilling backstory and numerous reports of paranormal activity, the Sallie House has captured the curiosity of ghost hunters and skeptics alike. Buckle up because this episode promises a spine-chilling journey into the unknown. Our story begins in the quaint town of Atchison, Kansas, a place with a rich history dating back to the mid-1800s. Atchison is known for its charming Victorian architecture and small-town charm, but it's also home to the infamous Sallie House. Built between 1867 and 1871, this unassuming 508 North 2nd Street house hides a dark and tragic history. The legend of the Sallie House begins with Dr. Charles Finney, a physician who lived and practiced in the home. According to local lore, in the early 1900s, a frantic mother brought her daughter, Sallie, to Dr. Finney, suffering from severe abdominal pain. Believing she had acute appendicitis, Dr. Finney attempted emergency surgery. Tragically, Sallie died on the operating table, allegedly awakening during the procedure due to insufficient anesthesia and dying in terrible pain.
It's very sad if that's true.
This tragic event is said to be the catalyst for the paranormal activity that would later plague the house.
Yes, it is.
But is there any truth to the story of Sallie?
Who knows?
Historical records do not confirm the existence of a girl named Sallie who died in such a manner, leading some to speculate that she may have been a spirit from an earlier time or even a manifestation of the house's dark energy. Mm-hmm. Now fast forward to the early 1990s, when Tony and Deborah Pickman moved into the house. They would become central figures in the Sallie House story, experiencing some of the most intense and documented hauntings to date. Their experiences would bring national attention to the house and cement its place in paranormal lore. Tony and Deborah Pickman moved into the Sallie House in 1993, hoping to start a new chapter in their lives. Deborah was pregnant with their first child, and the couple was excited about their future. However, it didn't take long for the strange things to begin happening. Initially, the occurrences were mild and easily dismissed. Objects seemed to move on their own, lights would flicker, and there would be cold spots throughout the house. But soon, the activity escalated. Oh no. One of the first major incidents involved their dog. The normally calm and friendly animal would bark and growl at seemingly nothing, focusing its attention on an empty corner in the nursery. Then Tony began experiencing terrifying encounters. He reported waking up to find scratches on his body without explaining how they got there. These scratches would appear spontaneously and often in places he couldn't have reached himself. On one particular chilling occasion, Tony saw a young girl, whom he later identified as Sallie, standing at the foot of his bed. She appeared solid and lifelike, but then vanished into thin air. It's crazy. Deborah, too, had her own encounters. She would hear voices, witness objects being thrown across the room, and feel an unexplainable presence in the house. The couple even experienced physical attacks. Tony was often the target, with scratches and burns appearing on his skin. The Pickmans documented their experiences, capturing some of the activity on video and in photographs. These recordings included moving objects, shadowy figures, and eerie EVP, which are electronic voice phenomena, recordings. The hauntings became so intense that the Pickmans sought help from paranormal investigators. Teams from various organizations visited the house. One of the most compelling pieces of evidence came from a psychic medium who visited the house. She claimed that Sallie was not the only spirit present. According to her, there was a malevolent entity in the house. This darker presence, she suggested, was responsible for the more violent and aggressive hauntings. It's crazy. Especially in the basement. Which, I don't know why I didn't put my notes, but in the basement somebody had drawn a...
Yes, a pentagram.
And done like...
Satanic rituals. Yes, because Satanists use the pentagram.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because, yeah. No, it's bullshit. But anyway, you know how I feel about that.
Yeah. Anyways, the paranormal investigations into the Sallie House have been numerous and varied.
Yes, there have been.
Yes. Some of the most significant investigations were conducted by teams from television shows like Sightings, Ghost Adventures, Amy's Crypt, and many others. These teams used a range of equipment including EMF meters, infrared cameras, and audio recorders to capture evidence of the hauntings. During one investigation, the Sightings team recorded an extraordinary amount of activity. They captured video footage of objects moving on their own, heard unexplained noises, and recorded chilling EVPs. One EVP in particular seemed to capture a voice saying, "Get out." A clear indication that whatever was in the house did not want visitors.
I mean, shit, if random people were coming into my house, I'd be clawing some eyeballs out, bitch.
Get out of my fucking house.
Get the fuck away from me.
The Ghost Adventures team, led by Zach Bagans, also had intense experiences in the house. They reported feeling physically ill, experiencing sudden drops in temperature, and capturing numerous EVPs. One of the most dramatic moments occurred when a team member felt an unseen force push him, causing him to stumble. Of course, during most of the episodes of Ghost Adventures, Zach seems to either get scratched, touched, and possessed, sometimes at the same time. These types of shows are, of course, for entertainment purposes.
Yes, they are. He is nothing but an entertainer. I'm not
saying none of that is...
Oh, no. This is in Zach Bagans' case. He is an entertainer. He is a fraud. He's a farce. I'm not saying that they didn't go in there and catch something real.
Right.
But I don't trust shit that comes out of him. The only reason that I believe the Sallie House is haunted is because of the other teams that have gone in there after him.
I just wanted to put that in there because...
I know, and I know that I'm very convicted right now, and it has everything to do with the fact that I fucking hate Zach Bagans.
I mean, I watch it for the location.
Oh, of course. It's like hate watching.
It's entertainment. Just to watch how fucking dumb he is.
Come and get me!
Yeah,
every episode.
Yeah, it's stupid. And we'll get into one of our favorite shows now.
Yes, my favorite show.
Your favorite show.
You barely ever watch it with me.
I like it too. I watch it.
If it's on, you watch it. You don't ever ask me. Well, the one time you did was for this episode.
Yes. All right. Amy and Jared from the YouTube show Amy's Crypt are more caring and respectful.
Which is why I like them so much.
Yes. Unlike Zach and his crew, who like to antagonize and demand the spirits show themselves.
And they're not religious about it either, which a lot of people bring their deity into their paranormal investigation, and that irritates the fuck out of me.
Anyways. Amy and Jared used techniques that would make the entities feel safe. Mm-hmm. On their first visit, they did the Estes method.
Mm-hmm. She even wore a little pink bow in her hair to placate the little girl if there was one.
And didn't they do this Estes method in the...
They always do the Estes method.
No, I mean in the nursery.
Oh, I don't know what room they were in.
I think it was the nursery.
I know it was the one where the little toy was that kept talking.
I think that's, the nursery.
Yeah.
Anyways, to perform the Estes method, one investigator wears a blindfold to limit visual stimulation or triggers, and a pair of noise-canceling headphones connected to a spirit box. Mm-hmm. The spirit box is a device used to scan through radio frequencies and is believed to be a communication tool between the living and the dead.
I would love to try the Estes method sometime.
That would be awesome.
Not here.
No. While the investigator listens to the spirit box, other investigators call out to any potential spirits that with questions. The idea is that the spirits will use the spirit box white noise to communicate with fewer external factors influencing this interaction.
My favorite is when they do the Estes method with their new device, which is Ghost Tube Seer. That images sometimes come on.
I like that a lot. I've used it here.
I know!
Outside. It's crazy.
Piss me off. Never investigate where you live,
yes,
dumbass.
I mean, it's for entertainment. No one knows if it's truly factual. It could be just like random pictures. Even though it was like a Civil War era, and we know that Civil War soldiers traveled through this area to Bloody Hill, which is down the street.
We also know several other things that I have told you about the property behind the house.
Yes.
And there were a few other very disturbing pictures that you generated.
Oh, yeah.
That I did not like, and one of them backed up something that I suspected. So, don't investigate where you live!
Okay. I haven't done anything before that, or after that. Anyways. Sensory deprivation eliminates any stimuli that could potentially influence the blindfolded investigators' perceptions or interpretations.
Basically, no lip reading questions.
Of the spirit box responses. Yeah, they can't see the other investigator who's asking the questions.
Or if they're pointing at an object. No lip reading.
By removing distractions and focusing solely on what is coming through the spirit box, investigators hope to better discern any potential messages from the spirits.
Yes. I love watching them do the Estes method.
This one was crazy because while Amy was blindfolded and listening to the spirit box, Jared asked many questions.
Yes.
He received answers as well as personal information about his life, such as his actual first name.
Yes.
And some of that information he did not share.
This was the first time that came up, and since then it's come up a lot in their investigations, which I will admit is one of the things where I'm like, that's one of those little fishy things. But, I don't know. They don't seem to be the type... I'm not going to stake my reputation on this. They don't seem to be the type to fake shit. But who knows? In YouTube, you need to get those views, get that bag. I don't know.
By watching them, they seem respectful and...
Much more than other YouTube ghost investigation channels that I fucking hate.
Anyways. Yeah,
I'm very passionate about this, as you can tell.
Yeah, he got some personal information.
Didn't Sallie ask if they were married?
Yes. And he said yes.
And then it said something about push her or something her.
Something about push her. I don't remember. They received a lot more EVPs and other findings of paranormal activity. And that's a really good show if anybody's interested. Amy's Crypt.
I really like them.
Yeah.
There are very few shows on TV or channels on YouTube that don't give me the ick.
Yeah.
And they're the number one. Again, I'm not going to stake my reputation on their honesty. But
all these shows are entertainment, but as far as not being a dick and trying to call out spirits.
And they've had plenty of us investigations where they've come up empty-handed, too.
Yeah.
And they continue to, even to this day, have low-activity investigations.
It's an amazing show to watch if you're into that.
Another great channel, just a little off the topic, Adelaide's Haunted Horizons. They're friends of Amy and Jared in Adelaide, South Australia.
Are those... No. I can't remember who the guy's name is. Him and his friend sometimes are with Amy and Jared.
They've collabed with a few. You might be talking about Paranormal... Is it Paranormal Quest? No, I think...
Anyways. Yeah, it's a really good show. I would suggest checking it out. Obviously, they have nothing to do with us as far as...
Yeah, Paranormal Quest. They've collabed with Amy a couple of times. They're okay. They're just okay. I have a hard time watching them sometimes. They get a little kooky bananas for my taste.
Yeah.
And if there's, sometimes they have different members that join investigations. There's a couple that I can't watch if they're involved. Just because I can't stomach their tactics and the religiosity. But Paranormal Quest, they're decent. They're fine. They're just all right. Anyway.
Back to you. These investigations have led to several theories about the nature of the hauntings. One theory is that Sallie's spirit is indeed present, but she is not the cause of the violent activity. Instead, it's believed that the malevolent spirit mentioned by the psychic medium is responsible. This darker entity may be using Sallie's tragic story as a cover to hide its true intentions. Another theory is that the house is a portal or hotspot for paranormal activity. Yes. This would explain why so many different types of phenomena have been reported, from benign apparitions to violent attacks. Mm-hmm. The house's location, built over land with a potentially dark history, could contribute to its haunted reputation.
I mean, if it's in America, it's just dark history. Yeah. There's no potentially.
Yeah. For real.
Violent, gory, awful.
Yep. Skeptics, of course, have their own explanations. Some suggest that the hauntings result from a natural phenomena, such as electromagnetic fields or infrasound, which can cause people to feel uneasy or hallucinate.
Yeah.
I hallucinate all the time. So
my life is a fucking hallucination, and it ain't pleasant either.
Yeah. Anyways. Others believe that these stories have been exaggerated or fabricated for attention.
Well, this is the thing. The original family that reported all the paranormal activity.
Right.
They were the first that reported anything.
Yeah.
Before they moved in, there was 100 years of people living in that house, presumably unscathed.
Yeah, but when they moved in 1993, that's when they got, media attention and stuff. So,
but that's what I mean. They were the first ones who reported anything,
right?
And this is kind of in the height of the whatchamahoosums,
unsolved mysteries, and
the couple that did Amityville and the other house.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah, that was the height of all the paranormal.
Yeah. It was just getting started.
Yeah.
So I don't, who knows? They could have been fabricating everything. They could have been the source. People, high emotional situations can cause things to manifest in their presence.
Yeah.
Etc.
Etc. Anyways, regardless of the explanation, the Sallie House continues to draw interest from both paranormal enthusiasts and skeptics alike. Its reputation as one of the most haunted houses in America remains intact, with new reports of activity surfacing regularly. Over the years, many visitors, including paranormal investigators, tourists, and even skeptics, have reported strange occurrences. Here are a few of their stories. What? What?
What show? Unsolved Mysteries?
I need
Law and Order.
Here are their stories. Anyways. Are we a little tipsy today?
A little bit. I've had some really delicious ciders today, so
I need to get more of this stuff. It's really good.
I really like this brand, Ace.
Yeah.
Pretty good. Pretty good.
And the other cider, I might get like a 12-pack.
Yeah.
Really good.
Do they have the Marionberry?
Yes.
Yeah. Because I like that one better than the one you had, but I think the one you had, it had to have been fortified. If it wasn't fortified, I would be shocked.
Yeah, yours was, the Marionberry was 6.5%, and the Honeycrisp was 8.
Oh! Okay, that's not that big of a difference.
No.
But the difference between flavor was stark. I don't know if it's
mine
just...
Mine tasted a little stronger than...
Yours tasted a little bit more sour and bitter.
Right.
Which I don't mind sour. I don't like bitter.
Right.
And for a Honeycrisp, I would expect better, but...
Sweeter, yeah.
Not even sweeter, just not... Honeycrisps are not bitter.
They're so good. A good Honeycrisp apple.
Yeah?
Is so good.
They're not as good as a Macintosh, though. I will die on this hill.
Okay. Anyways, let's not talk about Michigan apples. Our first account comes from a paranormal investigator named Mark, who was initially skeptical about the hauntings at the Sallie House. Mark and his team spent a night in the house equipped with all the latest ghost hunting gear. Despite his skepticism, Mark couldn't deny what he experienced. Mark says, "We were in the basement when I felt a sudden chill." Oh no.
A basement cold?
Anyways, my EMF meter started going crazy, and then I saw it, a shadow figure standing in the corner. At first I thought it was just a trick of the light, but then it moved. It came towards me, and I felt a sharp pain on my chest like something had scratched me. When I lifted my shirt, there were 3 distinct scratch marks. I can't explain it, but I know I saw it and felt it.
3. The mark of the beast. No, I'm just kidding.
I don't know.
Because 3 plus 3 is 6. 666.
Or the mark of the Trinity, making fun of. That's what some say.
Yeah. Or maybe just because your 3 middle fingers are the strongest and longest.
Or it's an alien with 3 fingers, god dang it.
I mean... I want to believe.
Anyways, Mark's experience is not unique. Many investigators who enter the house with a skeptical mindset leave with a different perspective, convinced that there is something unexplainable about the Sallie House. Our next story comes from Sarah, a tourist who visited the Sallie House with a group of friends. They had heard the legends and wanted to see if they were true. Sarah says, "We were just walking through the house, taking pictures and trying to spook each other out. I decided to go upstairs by myself to the nursery.
Don't do it!
As soon as I stepped into the room, I felt this overwhelming sense of sadness. I started crying uncontrollably, and I couldn't stop. My friends came up to find me, and as soon as they entered the room, they felt it too. We all ran out of there as fast as we could. I don't know what it was, but it felt like someone else's emotions had taken over me." Sarah's experience highlights another common theme in the Sallie House: intense emotional reactions that seem to be induced by an unseen presence. The hauntings at the Sallie House have not only affected those who lived or visited there, but have also had a significant impact on the community of Atchison. The house has become a focal point for paranormal tourism, drawing visitors from all over the world. This influx of tourism has both positive and negative effects on the town. On the positive side, the interest in the Sallie House has brought economic benefits to Atchison. Local businesses, including hotels, restaurants, and shops, have seen increased patronage from those coming to experience the haunted house. The annual haunted tours and events, particularly around Halloween, attract large crowds, boosting the local economy. However, there are also drawbacks. Some residents feel that the focus on the paranormal overshadows the town's other attractions and rich history. There's also concern about the impact on the house itself, with the constant stream of visitors potentially damaging or deteriorating the property.
Well, I can see it both ways. Right. A structure left unattended is going to...
Yeah, I'll get there. So.
Oh, okay.
Anyways. Yeah, but yeah, if it was unattended, the house would deteriorate.
But people being there keeps it, I don't want to say alive.
Well, it kind of does keep it alive.
No pun intended.
If you think about it. Yeah. Yeah, so the house's owner has taken steps to preserve it while also accommodating the public's interest.
Yeah, and you can argue as long as they're responsible, the increased revenue allows them to put aside a budget for minor repairs and things like that.
It's like $150 to stay the night.
That's not bad.
So to think about it, that money...
We're not doing it, but that's not bad.
No, I know. But think about it. Like $125 per tour or $150 to stay the night. And the owner doesn't live there. So all that money can be for restoration.
You would hope.
Hope.
You would hope.
Yeah.
That's up to the owner to do the responsible thing to set aside a savings for that purpose.
And as far as I could tell, he is, yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't, as all of the videos that I've seen, it does not look like it's dilapidated.
Right.
Like, I think a family could move in there tomorrow and be just fine.
Guided tours are available, and the house is maintained as a historical site.
Okay.
The city has embraced the house's haunted reputation, using it as a unique selling point to draw visitors and promote local history.
Yeah.
Despite the mixed feelings among residents, the Sallie House remains an integral part of Atchison's identity. Its story continues to intrigue and terrify those who hear it, ensuring that the legend of Sallie and the hauntings at her house will endure for years to come. Let's delve into some of the theories and explanations behind the hauntings at the Sallie House. While the stories are compelling, it's important to consider all perspectives, from the paranormal to the scientific. One common theory is that the Sallie House is the site of a residual haunting. This type of haunting is thought to be a replay of past events with no interaction between the spirits and the living.
That's... as far as I've witnessed on, other people's... I've never been there. But from what I've seen, nothing says residual about that.
I'm just getting to, scientific perspective.
Yeah, I get that. But scientific perspective, what about the Sallie House's residual?
Oh, I know. It's... most of it that we see on TV and YouTube is... intelligent haunting. Yeah. I'm just saying what,
I'm not saying that there couldn't be some residual.
Right.
But that's not the primary focus.
Yeah. This type of haunting is thought to be a replay of past events with no interaction between the spirits and the living. The tragic death of Sallie, if it occurred as the legend suggests, could have left the emotional imprint on the house.
Mm-hmm. That could have even caused something to manifest there, if it's real.
Right. This residual energy might explain some of the sightings and sounds visitors report. Another theory is that the house is the site of an intelligent haunting where spirits are aware of and interact with the living. The aggressive behavior, such as scratching and physical attacks, suggest a presence that is actively engaging with those in the house. This aligns with reports from the Pigmans and other visitors who have experienced direct interactions. Yes. Poltergeist activity is another possible explanation.
Yes. I think that falls under intelligent, though, doesn't it?
Well, yeah, because poltergeist has more physical...
Yeah, the scratches, the moving things.
Which has to do with, your emotions. If you're very emotional, you could stir up some of that energy.
Or it could manipulate you into emotions that you're not actually experiencing.
Yes.
That you don't feel, but you're experiencing. That's not how I'm trying to say. What am I trying to say? Emotions that are not actually yours, but you're feeling them.
Right.
That's what I wanted to say.
Right. Poltergeists are known for causing physical disturbances such as moving objects and making loud noises.
Like children?
Huh? What?
Like children?
Oh, yeah. Children are poltergeists.
Yes.
I'm talking about. Mostly ours, but...
All.
Yeah.
Every of them.
Poltergeists are known for causing physical disturbances such as moving objects and making loud noises. Some researchers believe that poltergeist activity is not caused by spirits, but by unconscious psychokinetic energy, often from a living person experiencing emotional or psychological stress.
Yeah.
In the case of the Sallie House, this energy could be emanating from the residents or visitors, particularly those who are fearful or anxious.
Yeah.
Skeptics often point to environmental factors such as potential cause for the hauntings. High levels of electromagnetic fields, EMFs, and infrasound can create sensations of unease, hallucinations, and other symptoms commonly associated with hauntings.
Did you ever come across anything about a ley line in your research? No? Okay.
I should have looked up. I wasn't even thinking about that. But supposedly, if like a certain location is on a ley line, supposedly it's haunted. And
ley lines are lines of energy.
Right.
Whether they cause the haunting or not, it's energy to feed off of.
Right. I get it. Faulty wiring, natural geological formations, and other environmental conditions might be responsible for the strange occurrences at the Sallie House. Finally, psychological factors cannot be ignored. The power of suggestion and the influence of a location's reputation can significantly affect people's experiences.
Parapsychology is fascinating.
Yes. Like if you go in there, you know that it's haunted and you hear other people's stories, you're going to feel like you're experiencing the same thing, maybe.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, it's the power of suggestion.
Yeah. Knowing that they are in a haunted house may prime visitors to interpret normal occurrences as paranormal. This psychological effect, combined with the eerie atmosphere of the old house, could explain many of the reported experiences. The story of the Sallie House is far from over. In recent years, the house has continued to attract paranormal investigators, researchers, and curious visitors. Each new investigation adds to the wealth of evidence and personal accounts, keeping the legend alive.
Mm-hmm.
The future of the Sallie House as a research site looks promising. Advances in technology continue to provide new tools for investigators, allowing for more sophisticated and accurate data collection. This ongoing research may eventually provide clearer answers about the nature of the hauntings and the possible entities involved. As interest in the paranormal grows, the Sallie House will likely remain a key location for those seeking to understand the unexplained. Its combination of historical significance, compelling personal accounts, and documented paranormal activity make it a valuable case study for both believers and skeptics. If you stayed at the Sallie House, would it make you afraid-ish?
That is one of those locations that I'm like, I would go there.
Yeah.
I don't know that you could convince me to stay the night. I would not be sleeping.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Like, I would go if we were doing an all-night, overnight investigation where we left in the morning and went to sleep in another location after copious amounts of sage.
Yeah.
Like, I'm talking hot box me in some sage.
Hot box in a car, sage.
Tons and, like, the entirety of selenite that's in Mexico currently.
Oh, jeez. Gotta cleanse yourself after these.
Cleanse your motherfucking self.
Yeah, so that's the Sallie House.
Yes.
That's, like, if you listen or watch any investigation, it's pretty wild.
Yeah. Amy's Crypt has been there twice now.
Yes.
There are other channels that have gone there, obviously. It's like the number one most popular place for people to go.
And there are a lot more that I didn't name.
Yes.
Like, because
You didn't talk about the potentiality of the Sallie House possession to be a demon. That's a theory. Is that it's a demon. But you know how I feel about demons,
yeah,
so...
I mean...
One man's demon is another man's god.
Right.
And
anyways,
one man's god is another man's land spirit, so...
Anyways, there's a dark energy, and then, of course, there's Sallie.
Yes.
So...
But there's a connection between the Sallie House and another house that I think that you should explore that connection.
Okay.
You know the one I'm talking about.
I will see what I can do.
Okay.
Anyways.
I'll watch it with you.
Okay. Anyways. Anything you want to add to the Sallie House?
I mean, no.
Right.
I think it's interesting. And, well, yes, as I said, these YouTube channels, the primary purpose for them is to make money on YouTube.
Right.
Whether they say they're doing it for a hobby or not, they want to make money. Nobody starts a YouTube channel in any niche without a desire to make money. So there's that incentive.
Right.
But I'm certain that there are other groups that do not have YouTube channels that likely have a plethora of, I don't want to say evidence, but documentation.
It's basically go in with an open mind.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But my thing is everything is true and nothing is true.
Yeah.
Literally. Anything is possible and nothing is possible.
Right.
All at the same time. You never know. We won't know until we're dead, so...
Anyways,
I prefer to believe that things are possible and prove me wrong.
Right.
But I also know I'm not going to stake my life on this idea.
Yeah.
That this is a thing. I don't have any need to prove that paranormal activity is real, but I'm fascinated by it, and I believe that there is some level of truth to it.
Yeah.
So
that's the way I feel. Yeah. So.
Yeah. And it doesn't hurt me. It's not causing me harm. So it's one of those things where it's like, well, you know, I know how, I like to think that I know how to keep myself safe and warded and protected. So, you know.
I think we're going to end this.
Okay.
Oh, wait. We went to the...
Yes, we did. Belvoir Winery.
That was... And...
Jesse James Farm.
I believe that was my very first episode.
I believe so.
Yeah. I believe I didn't post anything from the farm, but I did post from the winery.
Mm-hmm.
And I could post some pictures from the farm. I mean, he wasn't
a great person,
but it is history and we did visit.
Yeah.
So
I felt very weird the whole time.
Yeah.
But I'm going to talk about my little experience at Belvoir. We walked up the path to the
cemetery,
Oddfellows Cemetery,
yes.
And there was, like, I don't even know how many graves, hundreds.
Yeah.
And there was only one of them that had any memorial flowers placed on them.
Flowers.
The only one, the literal only grave in this entire cemetery, and the name on the stone was Gaston, and that was a nickname that my dad used to call Justin.
And Justin was...
my brother who passed away
last
year ago Friday.
Yeah.
Next Friday, the 21st.
June 21st, yep.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that was pretty wild.
Yeah. And we saw George.
Yes. I posted pictures of George, yeah.
And
George.
Something was living in the closet in our room and was watching us while we were sleeping, and I did not like it.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Anyways.
I didn't see what it was. I didn't look. I didn't want to. I just...
So, if you don't know, Belvoir Winery was...
a couple episodes ago.
Let's see. Episode 40, if you're interested in taking
the wine was good.
Yes.
The Casanova wine.
I got kind of wine drunk. I had a fucking hangover the next morning.
I did not have a hangover, which is unusual for me because I do get wine hangovers, and I was drunk.
Yeah.
So.
I normally don't drink wine, but that was some good fun.
Which is interesting because it was a semi-dry red.
Yes,
and you
good.
Don't like...
It was called Casanova.
Casanova. It was George's alleged favorite.
Yes.
Not vintage.
Anyways, it was his favorite wine.
Variety. That's not the correct.
I don't know.
You know what I mean.
Anyways, It was so good.
Strain.
It was so fun. I mean, it was fun for one night.
It was... I don't want to be an asshole. I think that it left a lot to be desired. There was nothing to do on the property but walk around.
Right.
And you can't go in any of the other buildings except for the inn.
Right, yeah.
And then there's just a cemetery. And she was like, you have free reign of the property, just don't go in any of their buildings. But I was like, what are you going to do? There was no restaurant, no nothing, just the bar.
I mean, it's a good place to go for a couple hours to do some wine tasting.
If it had a restaurant.
Yes.
Just one restaurant on the premises, it would make a huge difference.
Oh, yeah. But
I think they're missing a huge market opportunity there. But, who am I? Whatever.
It was kind of fun to walk around, look at some history. It used to be the Oddfellows fraternity. One of them, anyways. Mm-hmm. But, yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I think next time we'll go to our go-to place, which is Eureka Springs, Arkansas. Yes. One of our favorite places to visit.
It's my favorite place to be.
Yes. It's very beautiful down there. The Crescent Hotel.
Basin Park.
Crescent Hotel's sister hotel, Basin Park. You can, walk around the hotels, even if you're not staying in there. Just to check it out. There are very good restaurants in both of them.
There are. Yes. Very good. The best pizza I've ever had at the Skyline bar at the Crescent, and the best fucking dessert I've ever had at the Basin balcony bar.
Yes.
The huckleberry pie with huckleberry ice cream.
Oh my gosh.
I died and went to heaven and reincarnated in my body and then died again.
That was the best pie and ice cream.
It was so good. But we've had activity in both places.
Yes.
But the most interesting activity that I had was at the Basin Park when I went on that girls' trip. I've probably talked about it on the podcast before.
Yeah, you did. Yep.
We got locked out of the room. Every single one of us in the group tried the keys. They would not work. All of a sudden, the ghost tube called us idiots, and then the door unlocked.
That was funny.
And then we woke up in the morning and there was a Bible on somebody's shoes and it was open to the birth story of Christ, which made me sick to my stomach for reasons I will not discuss.
Right.
But other people keep talking about it and how so interesting and wild it was. And I'm like, Anyway.
Anyways. Yeah. So we did that.
Yeah.
And
I saw a figure hanging from a chandelier in the ballroom on the top of the hotel, too. I don't know if I told you about that. And that was literally days after my brother died.
No.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
On the SLS camera.
Yeah.
That was cool. That was great.
Anyways.
Loved that for me.
Sorry about that.
It's fine.
Anyways, so yeah, if you have any stories or requests of anything you want to hear about or know anyone who does, please email me at afraidishpodcast@gmail.com. Email me anything. Facebook, Instagram, and Threads at afraidishpodcast. Tell me what haunted locations you want to hear about or anything paranormal.
I have a few suggestions. I'll talk to you about them later.
Okay. All the links will be in the show notes. I have this on YouTube as audio, but not video. You can listen almost anywhere you listen to podcasts. Also, rate and review on Apple Podcasts and rate on Spotify. 5 stars, please. And until next time, don't be afraid of the dark.
Be afraid-ish of what's in it.
Bye.
Bye!
I hallucinate all the time. So
my life is a fucking hallucination, and it ain't pleasant either.